Denizens of the grid, welcome to yet another exciting match of Android Netrunner. So here we have actually one of our old members, visitors, whatevers for the Kibitz and Secret Ox, and he has asked me to refer to this game as Victoria's Secret Ox Edition. Freaky? Freaky deaky. In any event, so we've got Red Oni playing as New Angeles Soul, the corporation, where I actually just saw a video of this one, where New Angeles Soul gets to keep a card in play even when their agenda are stolen and they would normally have to trash it. He's complaining that his mulligan was necessary, which means he is probably in really bad shape, but he doesn't know that MaXX recently mulliganed a hand where he opened with Wanton Destruction, which would have let him run and trash 3 cards at random. So he's kind of sort of lucky here, relatively speaking. It could have been much worse. But we'll see what happens here. If it's an agenda steal followed by an agenda steal, this is going to be one sad, sad corporation. Nope, just a random access, and we don't know what he saw. Ooh, the suspense is killing him. Me, us, him. Let's say him. But clearly they think that that's hilarious. So, well, I don't care to speculate. It's not going to be an ice. I'm not sure what it would be, honestly. In any event, no ice in hand, which is unfortunate for him. Paid 3 to trash a card. That's going to be a Jackson Howard or a reversed account. Interesting. One of the nice traps in that it costs you even when it's not advanced, because you kind of have to trash it, or it will cost you even more later. MaXX, I didn't actually get around to talking about. MaXX's ability is very interesting. It mills 2 cards to the trash at the start of your turn, and then gives you an auto draw. Auto draw is, frankly, as good as a click. For most runners most of the time. A free click every turn is just fantastic. But MaXX's downside is that he mills 2 cards, so you go through your deck really fast, you keep losing important stuff. If your deck is all singletons, you're just going to get hosed. Here's how you make up for it. You're an Anarch, so you run Deja Vu, which means you can draw a card out of your trash for 2 credits, and you run Same Old Thing, so you can Same Old Thing the Deja Vu or Same Old Thing the event out of the trash, and, or if you wish, you run Clone Ship, so you can Clone Ship the programs out of your trash, put it all together. You can do okay, oh my god, what is he thinking? He has all the nuts in his hand. He could have gone keyhole, 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 and unless New Angeles finds ice, it's going to be keyhole, 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 keyhole. I'm really curious to see where he's going with this. Maybe he saw something in the hand that, yep, there we go, there's another ice. So the keyhole would have only bought him 2 keyholes. I still say it's worth it. Keyhole twice could be game defining, give you 5 points off the bat, followed by putting a DDoS down so that you can get a quad keyhole turn later. I don't know, it's a thought. Regardless, hedge fund, this guy's clearly going into money. A lot of money, 21 credits. It could very well be that this is a mid-season situation and he's just trying to have an economic advantage, which is why MaXX is taking it slow and making money off of the lib accounts, which is not a horrible idea. Since he's given me view of his cards, I'm going to flip his trash. He has milled 1, 2 I've had worses. So there goes the card draw from this deck for the most part. If that's just an agenda nakedly out there and he advances it, it's going to be hilarious. Actually, I would encourage that kind of play because MaXX... Can MaXX afford to be permatagged in this situation? Probably not. Without knowing what kind of NBN you're up against, you could get... I mean, you have the I've had worse and the Plascrete, so I guess you're not that scared of Butcher Shop. You're only really worried about being psychographics out, maybe, or closed accounts, or of course having no resources for the rest of the match. And if that's a 3-pointer, you can't just leave it. If it's a breaking news, you're tagged either way. Honestly, I think you have to run. Yeah, he has to run it and just take his chances. And then if it is stolen, he has to drop a Plascrete or an I've had worse. Whoa! It's Cerebral Overwriter! Oh my god, the bluffs are real. The bluffs are real. As you can see on the side, Cerebral Overwriter is a 3 brain damage, or 2 brain damage because it's too advanced, hand size reduction of 2, which means Scorched Earth kills on demand now. I've had worse is not going to protect him. Plascrete Carpus might protect him, but only if you actually remember to install it. And oh my god, it's Snoop! It's Snoop! That's insane! If he wins this trace and oh, but he might not win the trace. The trace is very expensive. The trace is very expensive to force it to land. But he gets to see the I've had worse, so he knows he's in Janktown. But otherwise, he can pop the Plascrete Carpus out of the hand if he wins the trace, and that's it. Unless Max is running 2 copies. Well, I guess it's Max. He can recur it some other way if he's worried enough. Yeah, I think you have to avoid this trace here. You can't afford to give him the free. Yeah, you can't afford to give him the free trash. But the keyhole is gone, and the David is gone, and the David would have gotten you through the Snoop, and the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. I'm not. Yeah, if you pay 6 credits there, it's bad. But this class grid still turns off the kill plan. And unfortunately, with the Cerebral Overrider, you're pretty much advertising that the kill plan is what you had in mind. So as cool as that bluff was, and as solid as it was to make it land, I can't rightly say that that is going to make a huge game-defining difference here. Because, 2 brain damage means hand size reduction of 2. But with an auto draw, you're going to be at 4 cards in hand at the start of most turns, so it's all going to pan out the same way either way. So fingers crossed, we'll see how this plays out. I don't think Max is in bad shape here, but New Angela's Soul is also doing worlds with just the mind games here, because now if New Angela's Soul drops and a double advances, you've seen a marked accounts, and you've seen a, oh, you know what, let me look at the Corpse Trash if that is allowed, because I'm a player. Yes, it is. Dropped a marked accounts and an overrider. So you know that they're playing traps in NBN, which of course changes the gameplay. Now here's other catch that we need to keep in mind. There's 34 out of 49 cards left, which means that there's been blah 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 15, 16 cards played. No agendas? Are you kidding me? So that's an agenda, or the hand has an agenda. Guaranteed at this point. Maybe the hand even has 2. He hasn't even over-Jacksoned any agendas out yet. And this guy's just saying, give me money or give me death, so he's taking money. So if this is the agenda, great. But I think if I have a read on this guy, that he put down a bluff here, because as far as he's concerned, it's like, yeah, there's... Oh my god, I was wrong. I was totally wrong. Unless it's a reversed! It's a reversed account! It's a reversed account! Oh, that is awesome! I've never seen a reversed account do that much damage before. But Max just spent the whole turn day dropping for money, and New Angeles just spent half of a turn saying, no, you get no money. And granted, that still technically results in New Angeles having Max having a advantage in terms of I spent 1 card, blah, and you spent a card, a click to advance, a click to advance, a click to advance, a click to activate. That's a lot of clickiness. But on the flip side of that, who cares? You took Max from 14 credits to 0. Now you're powerful again. Max has to go digging for economy. Max just spent a whole turn clicking for credits, and next turn is going to be credit, sure gamble, and the deck is running out. The levy's in the trash, the SOTs are on the board, but these are all turns that HQ and R&D are not being attacked. I say that if you install another face down, it's definitely going to be an agenda, but if you have the mid-seasons, he cannot run it this turn. Thanks to the day drop, actually, I didn't even catch the day drop in hand. It's just going to be a day drop to go up to 12 again. And that's kind of the sad truth about Corpse versus Runners, in my opinion, these days. Right now, Runners can get so much economy burst that it's very hard for a Corp to truly punish it like this. That mind game, New Angeles, in my opinion, deserves to be way ahead. But if this is ICE, install Breaking News Advance into Advance and closed accounts into something like that, and you counterfeit another day job that way, hey, more power to him, man. This NBN deck has had a lot of twists, a lot of turns, a lot of surprises, and none of them have been boring, which is honestly all you can ask of a Netrunner game sometimes. Oh, see, if it's in a remote server, what the fuck are you thinking, man? I mean, unless it's the pad campaign or the drip income, probably a marked accounts, maybe. Of course, that's what he wants me to think, because, oh my god, he's in my head! I love he's in my head, but that has to be just a money turn. Now, if it's double advanced breaking news, score close to accounts, that will be a real coup de main. But it is not. It is not. Okay. Okay. So, that could be anything. Again. You know, Never Advance became popular, which is a term for when you put down the card. Oh my god, there's 2 retrieval runs in hand! Which means he can get the keyhole for free, and what? Eater keyhole past a Snoop? I think not. Well, actually, he doesn't care about Snoop right now, does he? He can totally just let it fire, because he never will need cards again. Or he can do that too. Okay, that makes sense. That way he can get 3 keyholes. This is smart. He wants to get this ice res so he knows whether or not to fire an itinerant or rotten destruction. And the answer is not. You could break it and get in, and considering the math that I gave y'all before about agendas and 15 in hand, it's probably an agenda, and it's probably just a steal at this point. What? What? What are the freaking odds? Oh my god, I feel bad for Max right now. Victoria's Secret Oxidine, and of course that will be the agenda because it's been too long. Kronos! Oh man, I haven't enjoyed a Netrunner game this much in ages. So atypical. So everything working out just right. Is Max just dead in the water? Tune in next minute to find out. Sorry, I'm just having a blast with this. I'm totally sharing this video online. This is absolutely getting published unless these guys say like they refuse. Because I don't think a video has ever come together this beautifully. And it's 0 to 1 point. There's no points scored yet. The whole game is I guess that's the other thing to consider, isn't it? He doesn't have... We saw the corroder in the trash before. Let's see what else got locked out, actually. That's important. If I know my maxes, and I think I do, he's not going to run duplicate breakers, so he's probably not... Ah, damn it, I went too far. There we go. Blah, 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 blah. Femme Fatale is gone. Corroder is gone. You know what's funny? What's actually really funny is that I think this is just Sly Squid's deck. I think this guy's just copying it. Oh my god, are you kidding me? More brain damage. More brain damage. He doesn't need it anymore. This guy's hand size is going to be irrelevant. His deck size is he's going to be decked in 3 turns. I guess limiting him to 2 cards at that point is still relevant. But he's got 4 Plastic counter. I guess Snare kills you now. Where is this corporation's influence? That's a valuable question. 2 on the Overwriter, 2 on the Edge of the World is 4. We haven't seen any other influence used, so we don't really know yet. He was probably trying to Queen's Gambit that card and wasn't able to, so we'll see. Yeah, I guess paying to kill the Jackson is reasonable. You don't want to go Jackson away agendas or anything. But my god, that protocol or project right when it hit, I don't know that Max has the tools to win anymore. There's a Code Gate Breaker and a Sentry Breaker at fixed strength both. At least 1 Data Sucker has been lost already. You've got 2 Eater counters to get into the hand. You've lost both Wanton Destructions. You know what? Wanton Destructions is actually not... If he has that 3rd Wanton still in the deck, I think there will be 3. If he has a 3rd, I couldn't catch exactly what got milled, then what he could do is Wanton into the hand, or double clicks SOT Wanton into the hand, burn a single David counter, mill 2 cards out of HQ, and maybe he gets an agenda or 2 that way, because, I mean, again, 29... Oh, he has a Siphon. I didn't even catch that. Okay, Siphon is probably good here. And at this point, you kind of just accept the tags. If this is a kill deck, you're just dead anyway. But with the amount of money we've seen spent on traps, or sorry, influence we've seen spent on traps, it would only be 11 influence left to play with to begin with. I doubt he's going to have many. I don't know that you want to spend your hard-earned David counter on money, though. At this stage of the game, you can always click for money, so I don't know that it's worth it to... Oh, I see. He needed to get it to 0 so that ice couldn't be res, so he could get in. Okay, that's fine. And there's the one. There's the one that we missed. Yeah, so that's the play that I would have made, would be to use my David counter for a wanton attack, or you could use Eater for a wanton attack. It would be 8 credits. No. I'm gonna vote no. You want the wanton to hit, so you want to beat the trace. Yeah. Oh, the trace is... he has 0 to boost the trace, so it's 3 credits to get a free card. That's not unreasonable. Yeah, that's reasonable. And then next turn you want Destruction to hand for a mill of 3, which potentially gets you the game-winning agenda, followed by what? Where do you go from here? Then you have SOT to threaten to do it again 1 time. You can retrieval run yourself... Oh, is he going for the Apocalypse? He doesn't have the clicks. He doesn't have the clicks. It would have to be run, double to SOT. He can't fire that Apocalypse. That would have been truly beautiful. And that's why, that's also, this is not Sly Squid's deck if he's not running Apocalypse, I don't believe. But this is not unreasonable, actually. Just going in there and getting an R&D card. And here's the best part. In one turn, this card becomes blank because you just don't care about him looking at your hand and trashing cards. You don't have any cards. So he gets to run that for free starting next turn, assuming that he does what I would do, which is one destruction right away next turn, barring, of course, a new ice. And the Corp has to take credits here. He can't afford to do anything else, presumably. Because even if you install in the second tier, I mean, unless it's a second wraparound or something, and even then the Wanton is still the right choice. Because you don't know what's in that Corp's hand. All you know is you don't like it. We are 16, 17, 18, 19-ish cards deep with one agenda worth 1 point. Give me a freaking break. That is probably the right move. You don't want him getting into R&D for free, and he is going to start ignoring the second ice very soon. But here I just go Wanton. See what he does. Come on, show me the one. Show me the one! This game has been way too epic for you not to do a Wanton Destruction for 3 cards right now. I guess the other thing he could do is Retrieval Run the Keyhole. Yes! It's the Wanton! Called it. But the next thing he could do is Retrieval Run the Keyhole. If he Retrieval runs the Keyhole out, then he has a credible R&D threat long term. But he's not gonna manage to get in very much because this is in the way. He went for the full amount. Yeah, I think you have to go for the full amount. There's already 2 Jacksons dead, I'm pretty sure, so you're not too worried about that. Hang on a second. Da 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 da. Sorry, this is work related. Agreed. Consult GI for sure. And PID. Well, there we go. Finally some good news. 6 points, of which only 5 will be staying, but that's still something. And that is to be expected, to be quite honest. Just the amount of time that those cards have been piling up in HQ and not checked properly, no, there had to be some value in there. But all of a sudden, it's any man's game. We have a MaXX who's locked out of the endgame completely, potentially, versus a corporation who is on, but is on game point, versus a corporation who has done all the right tricks, but none of the kills yet. Now, if there is a single Scorched Earth to land, that's going to be lethal, but that would have to land for us to know. So it's going to be a Retrieval Run to pick up the Keyhole, and a Keyhole on here. Oh, wait. Okay, he used the last chip. So he can technically Wanton for 2, which means he can eliminate the Corp's hand one more time when things are relevantly dangerous, I guess. But honestly, this Corp at this point is slap agenda, score, assuming this actually stops anything. The one ice you would least want to see in this situation. I would actually let bounce here and put down a Liberated rather than pay, because I'm going to want this to just fire each turn for free, and this is going to buy me 1 extra run sooner rather than later with the amount of money. So I would have actually installed that. I think that's safe. Unless he evades the trace for 3? No. This is only good because he's at 6 credits. Yeah, I think this is a mistake. I think that you're not going to win this turn off the Keyhole. But you might. You actually just might. It's a freaking Keyhole. Keyholes are very powerful. It's triple access off of a 30-card deck that still has about two-thirds of its points in it. I don't know, man. Maybe this just wins here. Oh, he did evade the trace. Well, that seems silly, because if you evade the trace here, you're going to have to triple-click for credits to install the Liberated account, followed by double-click to make 2 credits off of it. That's a lot of tempo loss. If you were going to do that, you would have been better off just installing the Liberated and taking money. And, well, I guess if you do that... No, you don't want to give the corporation time to throw another ice on top of this. You just want to finish it right here. I wouldn't have paid off this trace. I would have kept it at 6. Let him mill my Liberated accounts and then gone back in here for the win. Next turn immediately with an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 credit break. Yeah, that would have been my play. But I guess technically he can make a Keyhole run every 2 turns until there's more ice put down here. So the Corp has to re-ice this, And when he hits 6, he can want one more time for 2 cards. And he's keyholing. And the Corp has to get 7 points in the meantime, and float enough money to res this ice. Yeah, I think MaXX, despite all odds, has the advantage. And this is just the beauty of being a Netrunner runner, the power you can put behind your plays. I would say re-icing R&D is a reasonable approach here. It won't even take that much to make it incredibly hard to run again. And killing off same old thing denies him the siphon, because that siphon is going to be credit, siphon. Oh my god, is it actually just credit, siphon? Please don't let it be credit, siphon. No. Yeah, that's smarter. Just go for the spare keyhole. And you want to be able to keyhole and get the agenda out in the same turn, so it's definitely the way to go. That's going to be an agenda. But he doesn't have enough money to float putting an agenda in and resing this ice and scoring it and defending the server, which means he's giving up a free keyhole in the meantime, which is very bad for him. Actually, account siphon here might just get you into that remote. Yeah, I think you wanted to account siphon here and then prevent that, but I could be wrong. We'll see what his plan is. Because if this is just a score, then the corp goes pretty low. Can't, no run. He's saying neural EMP, but there's no neural EMP, to my knowledge. But we'll see what happens here. I would say running here, I assume this is going to be a news hound, because we haven't seen one yet, and he's running New Angeles Soul, so there's no good reason not to run a news hound. Not sure what that is. So yeah, we'll have to see how this plays out. I think MaXX has done a fantastic job here, continuing to push, despite the back foot he's been on. But we've also seen the influence here is 2, 4, 6, 8 on traps, which means Scorch is statistically not coming. And if it was, that's the one thing Plastic will defend against here. Snare might be a singleton. Neural EMP is very possible, but this guy's going trap techie style, so or not techie, trap NBN. If that's not an agenda, it has to be an agenda. He has to dig for agendas, install them, score them. I think in this situation what you do is you play it safe. You kill the SOT, you ice the archives, and that way he cannot access archives anymore. That's the game plan, winning plan right there. Actually, just ice the archives and you're set. He has no breaker that allows him to access cards. All you need is an Enigma or even a Quandary over the archives and you're golden. But if you can't get that, this is going to be double keyhole for the win. I think with 2 keyholes, he's probably just going to win here. And if he's very smart, he'll first double-click to account siphon to bring the corp to 1 credit. Yes, he's very smart. Wait, it's a retrieval run? For what? What program do you want? David! You want David, yes. Yes! That's right. Now he can keyhole for free this turn, and then double keyhole for the win next turn if he needs to. I think that's game. But we don't know what the corp had or didn't have. Even a single Enigma would have been enough. And they're just discussing whether or not to break Snoop, but yeah. Reveal all cards and I'm going to trash one of those cards. So yeah, it's fine. The counters will have no function for the rest of the game, since he will never have new cards in hand, as is visible from the board and his deck. But feel free to add counters if it's relevant to your strategy. Nope, there it is. That's the win. That's the win with the Astro. I must say this was a fantastic game to watch. I feel the Corp made some minor mistakes here and there. I don't know his deck. I'm going to ask, May I look at your deck? Corp. Because my instinct is there's got to be a lot of ETR ice here that would have saved the day. There's Newshound times 3 with no current to speak of. Actually, there only are 2 currents in this whole deck? It seems very poor. There's the Singleton of Snare. Archangel, which, wow, he actually was in bad shape. The only ice that would have saved him here. I guess he had 3 decent ice that would have saved him here. I would definitely have run more ice, I think, in this situation, or more currents. You definitely want 3 currents so that you can proc your Newshounds at the very least. I'm thinking if this wraparound had been on archives, you would have lost the game a different way because he would have keyholed for free for days. Yeah, that was a tough situation. I'm not sure there's a better answer just because too little ice. On my, they're asking where I post. YouTube channel, youtube.com/bountyhuntersax. I'm not sure the corp really could have done much better, but I think the flaws here are with deck construction. It's a trappy deck, not crappy, trappy, which means that he needs to be ice. He can get away with being ice light, but if you're ice light, then you don't have hard ETRs. If you don't have hard ETRs and you don't have the means to punish aggressive running, well, that's just a double whammy for your negatives. Throwing down a toll booth on archives would have saved the game here because he can only get into R&D a few times because of the financial inhibition, and if he runs archives, then he can't win if all the stuff isn't there. I think, yeah, I think that was the lockout there. And it's not fair to say he didn't get lucky because he managed to draw what he needed a lot, and all those early HQ singleton accesses didn't hit agendas despite the statistical likelihood. So yeah, okay, there is a third card. There is another targeted marketing, he says. So that means the Newshounds would have been turned on. I don't know. I think ultimately both players played a very good game here. It's not easy to say this was a mistake or that should have been different. And I had the advantage of seeing both sides of the board, which is of course a huge advantage. Overall, definitely a fun game. A lot of great moments, a lot of great surprises. I'm going to go ahead and post this on the channel. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.